The Godot Foundation has responded, has issued their formal statement regarding the mass banning, the cleansing of users for seemingly political reasons. And their statement not only includes no apology, but it actually blames the banned users themselves. And this gets crazy. They're asking banned users to beg to be unbanned. They have to plead their case to get unbanned from some of the platforms. They're not even allowing people to get unbanned from source control and other things. And they're censoring journalists who ask questions about it, as well as just any Godot user or developer who asks a critical question. They're getting mass censored in bulk. This is a crazy doubling down. For those of you following the story, this is unfolding over the last 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to go through this now. I've just posted a follow-up article over at the Lunduke Journal. Go to lunduke.locals.com if you'd like to read along. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can read along on the website there and see all the screenshots of everything. I bring the receipts, as the kids like to say. Fair warning before we dive in too far. The screenshots of posts and statements that are in this contain some rather obscene and vulgar language, just like with the last piece regarding Godot. It seems like all of the communication that comes out from the community and moderation team from Godot is incredibly vulgar and incredibly obscene. I'm including those screenshots here, unedited. In order to accurately record these events, I'm not going to be repeating the words. I'm just going to censor myself. So over the last few days, the team behind the open source Godot game engine has enacted a mass bannings, which many of the supporters of the bannings have affectionately dubbed a cleansing of users, developers, and financial supporters who were perceived to have the wrong political views. Now, this morning, check out the show and article from yesterday, which I link to in this article if you want to get caught up. There's a ton of it in there. There's a huge number of screenshots. You can dive in, pull out a bucket of popcorn, and go nuts. This morning, the Godot Foundation has, after a tremendous amount of pressure, issued an official statement on their X account at Godot Foundation. The two images that they issued were containing a bunch of text, and the first one reads as follows. I always love it when people issue statements as a picture. Just provide me text so I can copy and paste it. Quote, on Friday, we made a tweet that unexpectedly led to a wave of harassment directed at our staff and community. We unequivocally condemn this abuse. So they condemn the people they banned. I continue. The volume of negative engagement overwhelmed our moderation efforts. While attempting to protect the Godot community, we mistakenly blocked individuals who were not participating in the harassment. The Godot Foundation board takes full responsibility for these moderation actions. If you believe you were blocked in error and have not violated our code of conduct, please contact us with the form linked below. We are committed to swiftly rectifying any mistakes. We firmly stand by our mission to keep our community spaces free from hate, discrimination, and other toxic behaviors, end quote. That's the full main statement. There's another one we'll get to in a moment. There's a lot to break down in here and some things that are just not true. All right, so that came from the Godot Foundation board. To start with, the statement, quote, we made a tweet that unexpectedly led to a wave of harassment directed at our staff is, based on all available evidence, simply not a true statement. That is a lie, or at least a mistake. The majority of bannings enacted by Godot appear to have been directed towards people who were making statements which could not be described as harassing staff. Many were variations on Why not focus on software? Or why are people being banned? People asked these sorts of questions or made suggestions along these lines, and they were banned quickly. And they were told they were going to be banned quickly. People were told point blank in the Discord server on X, etc., that if they questioned it at all or even suggested anything constructively critical of the Godot Foundation, they would be instantly banned. That was a clear, directed statement. So there was not a wave of harassment. There may have been some individuals on various social media platforms who were engaged in harassment. I couldn't find them. I looked pretty hard. I found a lot of people who were very critical of the Godot Foundation, including some people who were critical in using language I would not have personally used. But it wasn't harassing language. However, the Godot Foundation was astoundingly harassing, using off-the-charts harassing language of the users that they were banning. It's worth noting. Likewise, the statement, quote, "the volume of negative engagement overwhelmed our moderation efforts," also appears to be false. During the height of the mass cleansing, the primary employee responsible for community and communication for Godot, again, an employee of Godot Foundation, openly mocked and insulted those being banned and had enough time and energy to start a folder of the replies to Godot's actions. Quote, "I've started a folder of the silliest replies I see when moderating," blah, blah, blah. So you got enough time to start a folder of people you ban and mock them online. You probably are not overwhelmed. So again, the statement from the Godot Foundation is false. It is unequivocally false. It is demonstrably false. And I believe that they probably know that, because anyone even tangentially aware of these goings-ons would know that. Two other points worth noting regarding this statement from the Godot Foundation. The first, it appears as though no banned accounts on any platform, X, Discord, or GitHub, have been unbanned, right? So everyone who was banned, as far as I can tell, remains banned. I've been in contact with many people who have been banned because the number is huge, and none of them have been unbanned to my knowledge. The second, it also appears as though no action of any kind has been taken regarding the Godot team members responsible for the mass bannings, or the team members who were out there publicly mocking and harassing people online. Didn't seem to be happening. Now, both actions would be incredibly simple to take, right? And it would help to ease the escalating tension between the Godot Foundation and the Godot users and contributors. Yet notably, these actions have specifically not been taken. Godot has not unbanned people. Godot has not taken action against their team members who were responsible for the harassment, for the vulgarities and profanities, for the mass bannings. They haven't taken any action at all. So the simplest actions for them to do, they have not taken. Now that is, and I think this needs to be understood, a choice on the part of the Godot leadership. They have elected to not take this action. They could. It would be simple. It would be easy. It would take almost no time at all, and it would repair relations with hundreds, if not thousands and tens of thousands of people. But they decided not to. They don't want to for whatever reason. Now, an additional shorter statement was made. They issued two pictures of statements. The shorter statement was made concerning the Godot Discord moderator, who called those being banned, quote, "the filth of humanity who can," and I quote, "beep off to oblivion." This person did not censor themselves, ever. They said a lot of really profane things. Again, check the previous episode or article if you want all of the screenshots of that one. It's fairly disgusting and extraordinarily vulgar. Here's the entire statement. It's very short. Quote, "We strongly condemn the harmful language used by Xananax," okay, moderator of an unofficial Godot-related Discord server. We want to clarify that Xananax is not hired by nor a spokesperson for the Godot Foundation. As an organization, we have our own official Discord server, moderated together with the new volunteers vetted by our team. Okay. 2 points are worth noting with this statement because it's a weird one. The first is that Godot appears to be distancing themselves from this moderator, the one who came out and was like, they're the filth of humanity, right? They're distancing themselves from that moderator by stating that this was an unofficial Godot-related Discord server. However, luckily we have receipts on this one. This Discord server was listed as the official Discord server according to the Godot Foundation website, according to archive.org, as of just 3 months ago. Likewise, Xananax person has been often referred to as the main moderator of what was the official Discord server for multiple years, thus proving that Xananax was indeed an official moderator of the official Discord server for Godot, at least until right now. Until all this is happening. Before now, making those statements would have been true, but apparently now they're not. Funny that happened. The second point is that the Godot Foundation is condemning the harmful language of the moderator. But what language specifically? Right? I mean, let's be real here. Is Godot condemning the statement that their users are, quote, the filth of humanity who can beep off to oblivion? We assume so, because why wouldn't you condemn such a statement? Oh my heavens, it's easy to condemn it, and of course you condemn it. But they don't actually specify, so we don't know for sure. Well, we kind of do. Luckily, another official moderator of the new official Godot Discord server has made an official announcement on their official channel to clarify. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you now. You can go check the article to read the whole screenshot. But what I want to call your attention to is the bullet point second from the end, the second from the last bullet point. Quote, additionally, posts made by community member Zan, referring to Xananax, or Xananax, however it's said, from back in 2016 have surfaced that the Foundation had to distance itself from. Excuse me? 2016? These filth of humanity statements were made like 30 hours ago. I don't think that was 2016. The Godot Foundation, just to be clear here, was not condemning these new filth of humanity F off to oblivion statements. They were condemning statements made 8 years ago. Are you being serious with me right now? That is insane. Oh, okay, fine. What, pray tell, were those 8-year-old statements that Godot finally decided to condemn? Apparently, this is them. We've got screenshots. These are from the old official Godot server from Xananax, where Xananax made some statements using the N-word. And a lot of swearing that goes along with it. A whole lot of it. Sand N-word beepers. I don't know exactly how to say all this without either getting in trouble or being a jerk myself. So I'm just going to move right along. But that's right. This Xananax made those statements. Those statements which the Godot team are now condemning on the then official Discord server, which the Godot team was totally fine with back in 2016, 8 years ago, even going on to make Xananax the main moderator of what was the official Godot Discord server. Okay, fine. But now that they've surfaced again, Godot has distanced themselves from those statements, but not, and it should be repeated, the filth of humanity statements. Those statements, apparently, Godot agrees with. That's according to Godot officials. So that's what we have on that. Is that weird? Is that odd? Is that peculiar? Yes. Do I know what to make of any of that? Not really. It's weird. So there you have it. Now, it should also be noted, to my knowledge, all these people, nothing has happened to any of these people. They've just distanced themselves from 8-year-old comments. Now, it gets weirder. It gets weirder. It gets weirder. I don't know how, but it gets weirder. In a truly peculiar move, instead of simply unblocking and unbanning everyone who was cleansed over the last few days, which would be so easy to do, the Godot Foundation has posted a Google form for people to fill out to request a block appeal specifically for X/Twitter. Please fill out this form if you feel that you have been unfairly blocked by the Godot Engine X/Twitter account. We will then investigate what happened and unblock you if deemed appropriate. Here's the thing. To fill out this form, Godot is requiring users to send them the email address associated with your personal Google and Gmail account. You have to log in with a Google or Gmail account to use this form. Now, Google Forms don't require that. Google Forms can be 100% anonymous. I've used Google Forms before. You can do a Google form that you can anonymously fill out in a private session through a Tor proxy and never include your email address or nothing. Like, that's how Google Forms works. You have to specifically check options to say require them to log in with their Gmail account and send me their Gmail account. Godot chose that option. So 1, people must have a Gmail account in order to request to be unblocked on Twitter. And 2, they must give that email address to the Godot Foundation, their Gmail account, in order to even be evaluated and investigated, right? And bizarrely, this is only for requesting an unblock on X or Twitter, right? On X, right? The mass blocks and bans on Discord and GitHub, the source control for the whole project, are apparently not available for appeal. They just kind of slid that under the rug now, didn't they? They ask, in order to get unblocked, you must please link to your last posts replying to or mentioning Godot Engine or copy and paste the content. And then you literally, this is insane, you literally have to include a reason to unban you. It's a required statement. You have to provide them a little essay on why you should be unbanned. Those who have been cleansed by Godot staff, employees, must plead their case and give a specific reason why Godot, in their infinite mercy, should unban them. They have to beg. Get on your knees and beg to be unbanned. What the fart? I would like to swear right now, but I'm not gonna because I'm not someone who works for Godot. I have a lot of questions. Oh my gosh. 1, has any action been taken against any individuals who engaged in the mass banning over the last few days? It doesn't look like it. Has any action been taken? Are those individuals still part of the Godot team? I can't imagine doing the things that these people have done. Mass bannings, they're destroying this project, this company, the people working there. Employees, like, they're destroying it. How could they still have a job? How could they still even be allowed near the project? Has anything been done? Does the Godot Foundation have a count of how many accounts have been banned or blocked? Like, do they even have an idea of how many people they went on a mass blocking spree of between GitHub and X and Discord and whatever other channels? I don't even know. What happened? What happened over the last few days? Do they know? Because I don't know, and I've been trying to figure that out, but it's a large number. I mean, I've been contacted by huge numbers of people. I mean, dozens of people have emailed me specifically with, can you believe this? Get a load of this. And it's all the same story. It's people who are like, I said something like, oh man, let's not ban people for this. Banned. Oh man, maybe we should focus on software instead of banned. And that's not even including all the people that I hear from on X and on other platforms and all the people posting about it and posting screenshots of it. How many people is this happening to that aren't speaking up about it? It's crazy. How many? They have to know, so tell us. Also, how many of the blocked or banned accounts have been returned to normal status? Because clearly the vast majority, if not all, of the banned accounts were done as a harassment campaign by Godot team members and employees against individuals who pay for the project, donate to the project, contribute to the project, and use the project. How many have been unbanned? We haven't been told. So far, I've been in contact with lots of people. Nobody I know has been unbanned. So those questions and I took those questions and a chance for providing comment, and I sent that over to the creator of Godot, the Godot Foundation board, and the Godot Code of Conduct team. After several hours of silence, no response of any kind whatsoever from any member of the Godot team, I joined the official Godot Discord server, right? And I found the thread that was specifically created by Godot on the official Discord server for people to ask questions regarding this specific issue. And I asked my questions again, right? It was very clear that this was the spot. They stated repeatedly all throughout their Discord server, if you have questions or comments related to this issue, this is the one spot that they'll allow it. And all other spots, they wouldn't allow it. I'm like, okay, I will adhere to your rules, Godot. So I asked that question again. I just said, hey, all, I am working on a follow-up article to the statement from the Godot Foundation this morning and have a few questions I am hoping someone, perhaps a moderator, can answer. I have also sent these questions to the foundation board. I had sent them to a few other places as well. And I ask a short, extremely polite versions of the questions I just talked to all of you about, right? Very simple, very nice. Here's some questions. Now, this seemed like a reasonable course of actions because maybe Godot employees are there on the official Discord server when something horrible is happening. The middle of the morning on a Monday, they are at work. This is the communication platform for the whole organization. They're probably going to be in there monitoring it, as well as official moderators and whatnot, and maybe just some users or fans of Godot who might have a little more information, could provide me with statements that perhaps I had missed. It seemed like a good place to follow up and ask additional questions. In less than 60 seconds after making that post, my questions were deleted by the Godot moderators. Your original message was deleted. I posted that message at 9:54 a.m. and that message was deleted at 9:54 a.m. Less than 60 seconds. That was it. Boom, deleted. Crazy. So as I sat there in that Godot Discord topic, specifically created and labeled as for asking questions about this very issue that we're talking about today, I was amazed because I saw comment after comment from a wide range of users get deleted right before my eyes. Boom, blink. It was like stars going out of existence. More messages were deleted as I sat there watching for several minutes than were allowed to remain. And we're not talking about a bunch of F-word, explicit, hate-filled messages, not the kind of messages that get posted by Godot moderators, right? Not filth, but reasonable questions like what's happening here? Why? Sure, I've heard of a lot of people get banned. Or one person said, "Hey, you know what? My one person posted that their X account had been blocked. Why is that? Like they're like, I don't even remember posting anything." That was all they said. Boom, deleted. Assumedly, they got blocked. I don't know. I never heard from them again. Journalists, users, developers, none were allowed to ask critical questions. None were allowed to express opinions contrary to the official statements from Godot. Now, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And what happens now? Anyone's guess. I don't know. It's crazy what they are doing to their own project. It seems as though they have hit a certain level of success and they said, you know what? This is too much success. Godot is becoming too popular. We are making too much money from it. This is too wonderful of a thing we've created. We must destroy it because it seems like they are hell-bent on destroying Godot, the foundation, the project, and their own careers in a hurry. I can't think of any other reason to do any of this. It is absolutely bonkers insane. Now, once again, I've put out questions to a lot of people involved with this, including the creator of Godot, who I have not heard from at all. 100% radio silence on this. He stayed just buried in the sand. Neither have I heard from the Godot Code of Conduct team. I have had one response yesterday from the Godot board, who basically just told me that they have a code of conduct, and they were planning to make the statement, which they did today. And that's that. I followed up with them twice now. Absolutely nothing. The public perception here is spiraling. For good reason, right? What appears to be happening is anyone who in the circle of Godot, right, or in and around Godot, in the orbit of Godot, says anything that's not extreme leftist in politics, they get banned. They get blocked. Not just on that platform, but every other platform that Godot has access to, right? GitHub and Discord. They block them everywhere from the project entirely. The Godot came out and made a statement where they didn't apologize. In fact, they blamed users. They blamed the people who got banned for doing it. They came out and stated that what victims they are. It's so hard to be a Godot person. Being an employee of Godot, you have to ban all these people who are like, hey, don't you make software? Let's just focus on software. Don't worry about other stuff. They're not even, that's just coming down all over the place. They are extraordinarily intolerant of anything right of extreme left, right? And this is unfortunately an ongoing pattern that you see throughout the tech industry, particularly in the open source world. When you saw like the NixOS purges that happened, the bannings happening over at Python, the mass bannings over at the GNOME Foundation. There you go. I said it with the hard G just to make a few of you happy. And on and on and on. There's multiple Linux and open source projects that this has just been an ongoing issue with. And it seems as though these organizations are hell-bent on excluding people, of being exclusionary, of attacking and discriminating in targeted ways individuals that they don't agree with politically. And that is incredibly sad to see, especially when you see projects that do have as much promise, potential, and just great qualities as Godot does. Godot is a fantastically interesting game platform. I don't personally use games to build it, but if I did build games, it would at least go on the list of things to consider because it's a fascinating multi-platform open source game engine and development environment. That has value, that has worthwhileness, that has real distinct value to the Linux world, to the Mac world, to the people who want to make games for multiple consoles. It's amazing. But here we are, instead of focusing on the cool technology that brings us all together, Godot is firmly focused on segregating people, ostracizing people, attacking and harassing people, and claiming that they're being attacked in the process. When the reality is, like, even this show, this episode, and the article I wrote is not attacking Godot. It's not. You'll notice most of what I post here is quoting Godot. If quoting a person is attacking them, well, that's a problem. That's not so great. And if Godot feels like I'm misrepresenting what they're saying here, reach out to me. They have my email address. They have my Twitter X DMs. They have a million ways to get a hold of me, and I will be receptible. I will go on and do a show with the lead of Godot, and they can tell me exactly why I'm wrong about this, why I've misconstrued what they've said. Go ahead, tell me. Issue a statement with me, converse with me. If you send me details, I will publish every word you give me so everyone can see the context of what you say, just as I have done so far. but they won't. They haven't, and I seriously doubt they will. So that's where we're at right now. I expect this fallout to continue. We're already seeing multiple people talk about spinning up forks of the Godot project. It's open source. I think there was one called Redo or something along those lines. We'll have to monitor those projects and see which ones kind of take root and kind of get off the ground successfully and which don't. It's always a mixed bag. But there's definitely some clear motivation and good reasons to go ahead and fork Godot at this point. So I expect that to happen, and I expect that in the long run to cause the Godot Foundation to take a significant hit, both in terms of people using their product, people contributing development time and resources and testing to the product and talking about it, and in terms of money coming in to pay their employees and pay for their resources. This is going to be a big hit for them in the long run. They could have gotten on top of this so easily, simply unbanned people, made an announcement saying, man, those statements about people being human filth and whatnot, we don't think so. That's crazy. The people responsible have been sacked. Boom, done. Everyone's happy. We move forward. Great times are had by all. However, they didn't do that. So there you go. There you go. Godot, you're making your bed. Now you got to lay in it. Thank you again to all of the subscribers of the Lunduke Journal, lunduke.com, lunduke.locals.com. I could not do this without you. You'll notice there's no this episode brought to you by IBM or Microsoft or any of that or aftershave, right? I don't do sponsorships. I don't do advertisements. I'm funded entirely by subscribers from nerds like you who want to see big tech free tech journalism, actual coverage of the important topics that fail to get reported anywhere else, with no influence from the big tech companies or any agencies or governments or companies whatsoever. None at all. I don't take a dime from anyone. Just you. So thank you to all the subscribers who helped to make this possible. Again, lunduke.com, lunduke.locals.com. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.